Let's zoom out a little bit. Check out what's around Jeffrey Epstein's house in New Mexico. And we see he's really out in the middle of nowhere. His nearest neighbor's like quite a bit of distance away. In fact, I think this is his neighbor. Well, let's take a look over here. There's all sorts of weird things around his house, around his ranch. Weird holes or pits with different color, like some of it's water. But there's a lot of weird anomalies out here in the desert. This one's just kind of strange. What the heck is that? Let's see what that is. So that's a little outhouse and a round building and some kind of hole in the ground. But all this is out in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, I thought we'd take a look at some weird oddities around Jeffrey Epstein's house mansion in New Mexico. It's quite a ways from Santa Fe and Albuquerque. It's just really out in the middle of nowhere. But let's just go out a ways. We're on Google Earth here. And there's Jeffrey Epstein's house right there. Right there. Look at this long road you have to come down. I'll point it out. This is the main road, just a little lonely two-lane, maybe not even a two-lane road, dirt road, getting off here to Jeffrey Epstein's house of horrors. Going up this road right here. Not sure where. Oh, here's another road over here. Either way, I think that connects back to the main road, which isn't very big at all. Let's go in a little bit. But yeah, there's that strange symbol. You can see how big this is. Sorry. See if I can move this around. You can see how big that symbol is. Maybe at one time it might have been a helicopter pad. And I've also learned that Ghislaine, whatever her name is, was actually a helicopter pilot as well as she knows how to fly airplanes as well. Her father was a Mossad agent, they say, allegedly. But yeah, very strange. All the way out in the middle of nowhere, of course. There it is. The symbol for the lost city of Atlantis, guys. No lie. That's what that is right there. And there's a little excavation going on in the middle of it right there. Hold on. Right there. There's a hole being dug right there. I don't know what for. Some of you guys pointed out that there might be tunnels under here, or what's under this plateau, because it's built up on this big plateau. There it is. That's about as close as we're gonna get. I measured those holes. They're about 2 to 3 feet. 2 feet. I don't know if those are animal holes or not. but it's really strange because it's totally interrupting that ring pattern. But the big question is, did the King family, Bruce King and his wife, and maybe his son, who knows, Gary King and his wife, are they the people that put this strange, odd symbol in, and then Jeffrey Epstein bought the home and either flattened it out or built rings of hedgerows and a cactus garden in the middle? Or I thought it looked like water, or somebody else said it might have been a parabolic mirror. But then we got the drone footage. That drone footage from those guys that went up to the house. Pretty amazing. I was really envious of that. And they determined that they flew a drone over here. And so I got to see a lot of extra detail. And it indeed looked like there were rows of hedges now, and that this was maybe before Jeffrey Epstein bought it. We really don't know. What do you guys think? Now here's an amazing little discovery. Remember when I said that maybe that the symbol might have been a helicopter pad, or maybe it wasn't, and some of you said that they thought it was? Well, here's your helicopter pad right here. See that square with the X on it? Some other people said it was the symbol for hunting. You know, the round symbol was a hunter's scope, and that Bruce King was an avid hunter, and that they had hunts on this ranch. Well, what were they shooting? Jackrabbits? Like ground squirrels? There's nothing out in the desert to hunt. What kind of comment was that? I discounted that comment for sure, and told them that it had no crosshairs, because you have to have crosshairs when you're talking about a target. But here we see the apparent, this is a cement pad for landing a helicopter and a plane maybe, or this outbuilding might be to service a helicopter or a plane. I don't know, but here's the landing pad, and we're gonna take you back out here so you can see how close it is to Jeffrey Epstein's house. It's basically one of the closest things to where he is, and all he would have had to do is get down one of these dirt roads and he'd be right back at his house. So this is where I think Ghislaine landed her helicopter. Right here, Jeffrey Epstein's helicopter, and there we see it's just a hop skip right over here to the house from the helipad that I just discovered. Some really weird stuff out here in the desert, guys. Some of this stuff needs to be looked at a little closer, don't you think? Now here we're back on Google Earth, whereas I was showing you pictures from Corey's digs earlier. But hey, shout out to my good buddy out there, very big fan and supporter and a true friend, Misty Pearl. And when I was talking to Misty Pearl about this, she was saying, I wonder what's built underneath this structure, because it's basically raised up on a embankment. Looks like about a 6, 7, 8 foot tall embankment, maybe more, it's hard to say. But sure enough, when I looked on Google Earth, there's something going on here where there's digging. Let me get that back into focus, sorry. And some are calling this indications of fracking, and that they were doing fracking out here in New Mexico desert on their own land, and that it made them lots of money. I don't know. What do you think? I don't even know anything about this. Is that tar sands that they're talking about, or going down and disturbing the, who knows, using electromagnetism, a focused beam, some type of technology that they're familiar with? I don't know. You tell me, what is this? Out in the middle of the desert. What is this? Now, I have to apologize. I didn't do a lot of research before I did my last video. I just wanted to get that stuff out to you guys because I was just pretty excited that I had discovered that he had this symbol of the lost city of Atlantis in his backyard, but I could have done a little bit more research. But this actually was, his property is in a place called Stanley, New Mexico, and it's out in the middle of the nowhere, guys. It's out in the boonies, way far away from Santa Fe, New Mexico, and he's basically, his nearest neighbor's like 10 miles away, and we're here on Google Earth right here, and I'm gonna just show you. There we zero in on the symbol, but we're just gonna back out, and you're gonna see how far away his next neighbor is. How far out in the boonies Jeffrey Epstein really is. So there's the property. Look how big that symbol is compared to his house. And we keep going back out. Keep going out. So this is all desert all around him. And if any of the girls might have escaped, they would have had to have walked down this frickin' desert, desolate highway. Sorry, that's getting out of focus. So if any of the girls were trying to escape, they would have had to have left on this lonely desert highway. And if any of the girls wanted to escape, if they could, they'd be basically walking into the desert, because they would come down this road and they'd be basically out in the desert in the middle of nowhere with nowhere to go. They'd probably die of heat exhaustion. Look how far out they are, in the middle of nowhere. Of course Jeffrey Epstein bought this property. It's out in the middle of nowhere and it's surrounded by some of his closest friends. Look at that. How are you going to escape from that place? Oh my God, what a nightmare. It's like worse than a horror film.